That's a good thing. This and be like, oh my God, it's me.
Good morning.
Bro, I hear that. It's people back again. Back in the stew. Back again.
We're here. Your favourite bunch. You got man like Axe.
Man like
Got
Axe.
man like S9. Got man like Certain Shapes.
Man, like tragedy.
Yes, people.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so
we've been watching this thing called Social Dilemma on Netflix.
So it only came out recently on Netflix, and the whole premise behind it is like it starts out by all these people that have just come from certain companies, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Google. They've been working there for say like 10, 15 years. Some of them were there when it started, and they've all come together to basically talk about why how these companies use our data to control the way that we're fed information. So I'll give you an example. They've got these behavioural techniques to ensure that we're staying on certain apps for a certain amount of time. Because basically, the whole premise behind it is that we are the product of that they're trying to. We are the product, and they are trying to manipulate us as much as possible to stay on these apps. That's their whole goal. Mm-hmm. The whole goal of Instagram and everything is to stay on that app. How can I keep you engaged on that app? Mm-hmm. So one guy that works for Instagram turned around and he said, when you're scrolling through Instagram, Instagram will track how long you're staying on a post for. So it's almost like, imagine scrolling through Instagram, you stop on something that you see, and then imagine like a little stopwatch starts. And it's just counting how long you're watching that post for. Mm-hmm. And then it stores it in this massive database of all the things you like doing, and it keeps storing all of those different things, and then your algorithms for yourself will start changing.
Sounds like an episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's a matrix in its own kind of way. It's making sure that you're staying engaged, it's making sure that you're doing certain things to basically just stay on their apps. And it went into the whole discussion of Generation Z, which is people that are born from like 1996 onwards, and how
Young things,
yeah, how they're literally like millennials as well, how they're groped into this social media world. You know, like for me, I was born in 94. I remember what it was like not having a phone that time. I remember dial-up. I remember AOL.
92.
You know what I mean? So like, I remember certain things when like having a phone wasn't. You know what I mean? You had a phone to play snakes, and that was it. Text to fool people. But now it's like kids got so much, access to so much information.
It's the internet, bro.
It's the internet, and you even had someone else from Twitter that was talking about, my personal opinion, and he backed this up, is that humans aren't meant to interact with that many people all at once.
Yeah.
Like, it's the frequencies of being... it's like, all right, so of Twitter, yeah, like if you scroll once on Twitter, sometimes you can see 10 different tweets. Some of them might be graphic, some of them might have some stupid opinion, some of them might be actually quite helpful. But the fact that you're seeing all of those different things at once, just scrolling, it's not good for your brain's not meant to take in all that information all at once. And then that leads to so many different things. They were talking about since 2005, when sort of the hype of 2009 and 10 as well, actually, more so, when a lot of these platforms really kicked off. Like Instagram. I remember when Instagram came out and I didn't really use it. I was in uni.
BlackBerry Messenger.
BlackBerry Messenger before that. But even when Instagram came out, it was just this picture sharing platform. And it's just taken off to be where it is nowadays. But say around that 2010 mark, things like the suicide rates in teenagers has gone up from ages of like 13 to 19, and then even like kids just younger than that. So, but that's the general kind of backstory to it.
I don't think they could contain it. Do you know what I mean? It's just like when you watch like a film like The Social Network, where it shows the come up of Facebook. The initial idea was brilliant to interact with people online.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was never thought of before. But they couldn't contain how fast it spread. And the effects that it would have on people. Like I don't think they gave any thought to how somebody's comment on the internet would affect someone else who it's being said about.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And do you know what I was thinking as well? Because there's
They didn't care. Sorry, actually, they didn't. Sorry.
Sorry,
You know, in the social. Have you seen the social network?
Yeah.
You know when they did.
They didn't care. They just
thing
want money,
with
innit?
No, you know when they did the who's hotter, this girl or that girl.
Yeah.
That's where it kind of started. But they
Yeah.
actually didn't care. They continued.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to say. They just don't care about it.
I'm just saying, like, it's mad because you know, there was a scene, and you see it a lot, where a family could be sitting around the table, and if someone's like, oh yeah, no phones, you'll see how much you know, not even a family, just people sitting around, how much they actually conversed. You know what I mean? And you'll see that they won't really converse that much. You know what I mean? Sometimes I've seen, I've been out and I've seen people on dates and they're both glued to their phone, and it's like the food's all going cold and that, and you're thinking, what's going on?
It's the younger generation.
But
And
you even get some of the older ones as well.
Yeah, I think.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? I think it's fair. Cause, yeah, sorry, go on.
I was gonna say that I think the reason why it's that it kind of has no age boundary is because we as humans need confirmations, sounds and things like that for a lot of things. So for example, there's a reason why Snapchat or Instagram or iMessage does that ping, or Snapchat's got that really weird kind of little notification sound.
Yeah.
I was watching something else, not to go off topic, but there's another program called High Score on Netflix, which talks about the introduction of gaming world and all the like
That's a
Atari and
dangerous
blah
world,
blah.
fam.
That's
That world is
and these two kind of shows interlink in their own way, but they were talking about the guy that made all the sounds for Nintendo, like Super Mario and things like that. And he turned around and he said that humans need confirmation sounds. There's a reason why when you hit something on Mario that you get that because you need, as a human, you need something to happen. So that's why when your phone's sitting on the side, you're watching a movie, sitting there, you have no reason to look at your phone, and you hear ping, and you look over. But the simple fact that you looked, like, our phones and technology were meant to be started out as tools. They were meant to be tools, and they speak about this. They've switched from tools to be something that we need constantly. A tool by definition is something that you pick up and use when you need to use it. Like when it's a bike or it's something in your garden shed. Do you know what I mean? You don't need it next to you all the time, but it's something you pick up and use. Our phones have become this thing of like, if we don't have our phone, it's like, what am I doing with my life? Like, you know what I mean? There's been times you've probably left your phone charging in another room, and in the back of your mind, you're still thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
You
Or
can't get
have
rid
you
of it. It's
ever
horrible.
been on your phone? Like, you'll be on Instagram and you'll be like, alright, cool. Let me go on something else, and then it's like you blink and all of a sudden you're back on Instagram and you're like, I was like, when did I even? When did I close that? When did I?
Or
Like,
it
you're thinking,
depends on what your preferred
What's
social media platform is.
Or but like obviously for me it's Instagram, so it's just
fair.
like sometimes I'll just be like, it's actually just a mad habit, and I said to myself, that's why I remember
Because you want to see what's going on. That's what it is.
but that it's like, I don't know, man.
It's not necessary though, is it?
That's why I had to go. Remember, I went on the
the
detox for like half a year, and I tell you, it was lovely. It's hard to do because if I told you to delete your social network things or whatever, you're not gonna do it straight away. Do you know what I mean? But if you do it, trust me, you feel so much better. Do you know what I mean? And even what you're saying about the whole gaming world, when I was watching this thing, I was thinking about the gaming world, about, like, obviously ever since lockdown, you know, we've been in Verdansk. We've
been in the gulag.
we've lived there,
And that's the thing as well, like in terms
they
of
could
gaming,
control me, fam.
No words.
Do you know what I mean?
In terms of gaming, like you're saying, is dangerous because you just end up getting. It's so mad because one game. Hey lads, quick, let's have a game of Warzone. Cool. That turns into an all-night thing. You blink and it's 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, lads,
When you
we
go
need to go to
sleep, you're
bed.
dreaming about the game and all of that.
You wake up. Yeah. Sean's been having dreams about
listen,
Verdansk.
I've been
It's
saying
mad.
because do you know what happens? Yeah,
programming,
it's
bro.
mad. It's mad. Like for me, when I go bed late, obviously my mind doesn't turn off. I used to do this thing where I'll be on the game for all hours, and then to go bed, I'll watch some Netflix. So I'm in front of a screen, screen time and all that. or blue screen or whatever. So my mind's, even though I've gone to sleep, my mind's not switched off. So therefore, my mind's still doing all this and whatever. And obviously, when I'm playing Call of Duty, I'm here jumping, ducking, flipping around. You know how it is, innit? So like now, when I'm sleeping now, I swear it's like I'm just playing Call of Duty, fam, and I just keep going through, keep going through. Like I'm even thinking about, do you know what? That gun had no recoil. I'm gonna try that when I wake up. I'm just like little things like that, and I'm thinking, bro, it is
It's
mad.
an obsession, fam.
It's mad. It is mad.
Do you know what that is? Yeah, that's just programming, bro. You
fam.
actually programmed your mind to become Call of Duty, fam. Like you've institutionalized yourself with Call of Duty.
But did you know what? Now it's Call of Duty. Before, like
FIFA or something.
Like not even just FIFA, but I've got a very active mind, so I kick when I sleep and that, innit?
Yeah.
So like, I kick out when I
kick when I sleep.
Yeah, I kick out
I've done
when I
that. If
sleep
I'm
and
watching
that.
something or I've been playing some games or something like that, and my mind's active, I've you know when you wake up in the middle of the night, you wake up in the morning, you're like, I remember kicking in my sleep or something.
I don't know. Like when I sleep, I kick in my sleep. But when my mind is active, like unlike yourself, I don't sleep. I stay awake.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I don't. There's been nights where I've actually gone the whole night not sleeping.
Yeah.
And I get up, but I'm tired in the morning.
Yeah.
Because my mind just can't shut off. Do you get what I'm saying? Whether it's life, whether it's stress, whether it's you got too many things on your mind. But when I get that feeling, like when you've been watching, for example, what happens to me, whereas you man play games, I'll watch series, innit?
Yeah.
So I will bang on, like for example, like you got a Game of Thrones or you got Vikings, like these are long series. Yeah. But I will bang a season in a few days. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my mind, when I dream, I'll be like, I'm thinking I'm some Viking somewhere. And I'm in the forest, or I got to tell Floki something. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, no, honestly.
No.
Do you get what I'm saying? So for me, I think my one is. No, honestly, like even like Narcos and things like that. You start thinking, you start listening to more Latina music, like Latin music and that, and you start thinking, you start holding yourself in a certain demeanor, like like Narcos, like like, I can do that, fam. I'm Narcos. You get what I'm saying? Like
I'm Pablo,
fam.
Bro,
Call me Dablo.
It was so jokes. I remember I used to start practicing. You know how Pablo looks out the window in that?
Yeah. But it's true. It's true, fam. It's programming. They hook you. That's what they do. They hook you. Yeah, fam. They hook you in like. It's mad because even there was one time there's a TV series called Line of Duty. Have you heard of it? Bro, listen. You start thinking feds, are the biggest crooks in this land. But then you start thinking, I don't trust that fed because he could be crooked. Like, he don't look straight. You start looking at feds on the street like, he's not good, man.
Yeah.
That series there, Line of Duty. I finished like 2 seasons in about 2 days.
I've clocked the whole thing, fam.
It's mad. Even everything you said, it's crazy because even going back to what we said about some of the apps that are out there, it's like there's a reason why Twitter is blue because blue psychologically keeps you awake. The color blue keeps you awake because you think it's daytime. So in your mind, that's
Instagram
why
was
Twitter,
blue at
and that's
first
why
as well.
that's
the
what
background was blue.
Yeah.
Instagram
was
blue.
Facebook as well. It's all these tactics. It's all these the people that create these things. They sit down in rooms with psychologists. And they find behavioural techniques to keep you on their apps because they are trying to find a way to keep you there.
The UX and
that's why they
design,
introduce things like trying to reduce your screen time or give you like dark mode on your phone and things like that. So it gives you it's like this thing of like, you have the other option to do it, but the standard setting isn't dark mode. It's not a different color scheme or whatever. Yeah. But it's like it's almost just covering their backs.
Yeah. To say,
things.
we gave this options.
At the end of the day, we are the product. The people want the people that create these programs want us on their apps for as long as possible, and a lot of it's to do with it's the advertisement of it and everything. To the point now where a lot of these companies there's a lot of countries that even are paying into certain apps like Instagram and things like that, to the point where you got like Facebook running certain polls for elections. Like these that's the level it's got to now,
because they know that the internet, there's always going to be money to be made from the internet now. You can't if you're into tech, you cannot be broke.
Like, remember what they said about the nations can nations can influence other nations without even stepping foot on their land. And internet companies are the most
biggest companies
like
100.
today. Do you know what I mean?
All somebody has to do is sit in front of a screen, talk a lot of rubbish for the whole day, or for like a couple minutes or so, and because their following is so broad, somebody can reach out to them and say, just promote this for us. Do you get what I'm saying? You get paid for it.
A lot of these internet companies are...
It's easy money.
A lot of these internet companies are the first time you've ever seen companies reach a certain stature of like money. Like you look at Apple. Apple's worth, is it 2 trillion? 2 trillion. They can basically buy like Tesla, all the rest of them, and still be left with change, and they're fine. They can buy countries. Apple. That's how big they are. I think one other thing they touched on in the Social Dilemma as well was AI. So AI,
intelligence.
we used to sit there and think that in the future, when we used to watch things like Back to the Future or iRobot or Terminator, that we thought that robots are going to be coming in and doing it. And that's not to say that...
I don't even want to talk about that.
I know, but like I'm not touching on that. I'm touching on the fact that AI is...
You see what they're building?
But AI is already... Our phones are
already here.
AI is already here. Like
No, it's been here, fam.
It's been...
Have you seen what they're building? They're trying to build robots that have their own
human intelligence, their own like emotions,
emotional intelligence. Do you know how mad that is?
It's mad. But when you think about it, your phone does that. Your phone does that, bro.
Your phone is doing certain behavioural techniques to keep you engaged on it.
Yeah, but your phone doesn't have its own free will.
Obviously, it does.
And that's the funny thing with AI. Yeah, AI. There's in like Nevada and places like that in America. There are warehouses, underground warehouses, for miles long, stacked for miles long, with computers, with just and all they've done is that they've built code into them and all these algorithms. So, but the problem with algorithms and code is that once you put it into the system does what it wants with it. You can't control it from there. So humans, like people that do coding and things like that, once you put it into that system of like an AI, like an algorithm, it takes its own life of its own. It takes on a life of its own, and we can't control it. So it's almost this thing now. We've gotten to the point in our lives where we can't control what's going on. You see, even
Tenet?
humans. Huh?
Have you seen Tenet?
No, not yet.
Seen what?
You see, if you man had watched that film, I've seen it twice now. I need to see it again because you need to clock it. You see, if you watch that film, I think your take on that algorithm would be a tiny bit different. Just a tiny bit. I can't talk about it.
But then would you say that?
No, because I agree with what you guys are saying.
Would you say that, like Inception? Inception is a dream within a dream.
Inception is much easier. It was people could watch Inception.
So Inception is like a dream within a dream. You can say that's real life. I don't think that is real life. Do you know what I mean? People can say that maybe the Matrix. Sometimes they can say it's real life or whatever. Would you say that Tenet is something that would be closer to representing the Matrix in terms of being something that's can be relatable to real life, or is it just a good concept? Do you know what I mean?
I think Tenet's scary. I think
is it scary because it can be real?
When you clock it, I think it's scary because like the reality is we just don't know what people are building out there.
Yeah,
we don't know what people are doing.
Yeah,
and the way Tenet is set up is like, what if that did happen?
Yeah.
It's so close to home. Like the way technology is moving nowadays. The advancement of technology, how advanced it is. What if that did happen?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? What if somebody's actually clocked something, but they're just holding back?
And they're working on it.
And they're just working on it. But or something goes wrong by accident.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like when you guys watch Tenet, you're gonna need to watch it more than once.
Yeah.
Then we can come back to that conversation.
Because it's from the same creators as Inception, isn't it? Or the same director or something that made
But I'll tell you this for free. Inception was a very, very good film. But you wouldn't... Some people can easily say that I caught it after watching it once.
Yeah.
Tenet, you can't catch it after watching it once.
Yeah, you got to go
I've
back.
not heard anyone to catch Tenet after one.
How do you spell it?
Tenet.
Okay, Tenet.
Yeah, it's a new movie. It's just come out recently.
Okay.
A lot of people are saying they don't like it because they don't understand. But I think it's
Just
wild.
wondering, you know the name?
Yeah.
Obviously, because it's 10 and then 10 backwards. Is that something to do
Look,
with?
I can't say it because you know me. You know what I'm like, bro. I don't want to open my mouth.
Yeah.
I'm just
like,
wondering if, yeah. For real.
Just know it's got something to do with time.
Yeah, of
Do you
course,
understand?
yeah.
And I
And
think-
algorithms.
And that's why I think it's but no, it's important that if when you get a chance, even the listeners, watch The Social Dilemma because it's amazing to see what's actually going on out there. You know, right underneath right in our faces, and we actually know what's going on.
brother.
You know, like even when I watched it, and I was halfway through it, and I looked at my phone with disgust. Honestly, I looked at my phone, and I was like, is this what you're doing to me? And it was almost like they say it in it as well. It's a subtle change to your behaviour. It's not this drastic thing that happens immediately. It's this thing that's built over years and years and years of you doing a particular thing, and then it just becomes a habit. And it's so scary when you're sitting there, you're watching it, you're like, I actually do that. I sit there, as soon as my phone beeps or whatever, I'm looking at it.
In saying that though, have you guys not felt that when you are away from your phone, you feel a bit better anyway?
Well,
Yeah, to an
but it
extent,
not straight away though.
For me,
Because
yeah,
I'm thinking of like with my like say my WhatsApp chats, obviously in a lot of groups in it, and so I'm always on do not disturb. So then when I'm away from my phone, I'm thinking, rah, these man could actually be having a debate without me, or you know, like
Right,
anything
you
could
feel
be
like-
What have I
going on.
missed? Like,
do you
what
know
have I
what?
missed?
That's my man. Do you know what? I actually don't feel like that. I feel like, when I see a lot of messages, I get excited because I'm like, you know what? This will be an interesting read. And then I chime in where I can. Sometimes the conversation is long gone, so I can't really chime in. I just read it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you, in regards to like chats and that on WhatsApp,
Yeah, fam, but that's
I
me.
pay zero attention to them.
But that's me, bro.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
people
WhatsApp
always
group
cussing me
chats.
like, why do you never reply?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
blah, blah.
But I feel like that's your Instagram.
That's your yeah, but do you know what? Do you know why that makes sense though? Why you not even just
no,
that,
no,
yeah.
no.
But do you know why
No.
that makes sense to you? Look, like how you just both said that, but that's like how you said Dan, that's me, because that's what it's all. That's what it's all about in the social
you.
dilemma. Your behavioural technique has been adjusted to you as a person, how you look at things, how you do that. Your phone's based it off of you as a character, how Daniel is and how Sion is. You don't like, as in Sion, because I know the listeners can't see me pointing at you. You probably don't do that because you've got so many other notifications coming through on Instagram, because your Instagram is more so a thing. That's not a bad thing. That's just your thing.
Like that.
It's just
know,
sometimes you probably
I need
can't
to
be
watch
bothered to
this.
look at
I need
WhatsApp.
to- I need to watch this.
word is true.
Because you're just like, I have this all day on Instagram.
Yeah,
Sometimes
that's
I can't bother
mad,
to look at my phone though. Bro.
Honestly, watch it. Yeah, your mind will be blown.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
want
seeing
to
it
clock
tonight,
what my social dilemma is, because the way you man are talking about it, like, I know I must have something. Do you know what I mean?
it's
There's
wild,
one part,
Yeah.
is where they do these sort of real life versions of what they're actually like talking about. They try to put it into like a little bit of a story in a way, like how Sean was talking about like the family that you know can't sit around and have dinner together. You know, they're all watching their phone. The mum's tried to put the phones away in their little locker, and everyone's just sitting there like anxious. But you know, it even comes down to like they've done a little like skit where it's like 3 man in a room just watching you on your phone, and you're just some bot that's just turning
just like
around like this,
looking at
and they're
different
just
screens and that.
and like they can see that you're not really on your phone as much. They're like, do you know what? Daniel's not been on his phone for about an hour. Let me just throw him a little notification of like, so and so follows so and so. Maybe you should have a look at that. You see on Instagram,
Use the
this
number
person follows
0700 whatever. Are they in the close proximity? Let me see if obviously they like their posts. So let's just fling something in there, like, a little ad as well. They've been looking at trainers, yeah.
And the way it works is
wild,
that
man.
you ever when you refresh on Instagram, yeah, it's always something new. You can never refresh, and then something comes up until you get through all your posts, and then it starts showing you the old things you may have been looking at, or it's like, oh, you've caught up today, or whatever it is. Other than that, when you keep it, because it all keeps feeding you. It's like feeding you. It's crazy.
You know what? I feel like I'm a victim of it, but not on my phone. I feel like I'm more a victim of it when it comes to like anime or TV series. but I don't actually watch a lot of TV. It's only in the evening when I come home.
The thing is, as well, though, I think it's easy for you to think that you're not.
Yeah, fair. I need
Because
to watch
think,
it still.
again,
I need to
because
watch
it's
it.
you.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
How
I need
many
to watch
times I
it.
kept saying like,
Yeah, I need to watch
nah,
it.
you know what? I know I do that a little bit, but I'm not. I'm not addicted or whatever. But then. I was looking at my phone, fam, and my girl was like, "Oh, what? So the phone's got you that?" And I just said to myself, you need to watch it. You need to watch it.
I'm tuning in
But-
tonight.
I'm gonna watch it
still.
still. I'm not gonna watch it tonight. Maybe on the weekend.
No, I got
But
time.
just watch-
so
just
I'm
watch
watching
it.
tonight.
But what?
It's not that long. It's about an hour long or so.
Yeah,
I heard that.
I was gonna say as well is that obviously we're old enough to kind of, you know, so we're old enough to know like okay, so our screen time is a lot. We can do something about it or whatever. Young children who are very highly impressionable may not get this or have the awareness to be able to do that. So that's why I think that's what the back in the previous episode, I think our last episode, when we was talking about cuties on Netflix.
I remember that.
So through the eyes of like 11-year-old girls, what they go through and what they see. Obviously, again, a previous thing, you know, WAP, where they see WAP, but they'll think, okay, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion. They see all these, you know, maybe not Nicki Minaj, but like they see all these things and they want to copy them and things like that, or they're very highly impressionable. Do you know what I mean? So then nowadays you see how children, they've got these latest iPhones and whatever. I was speaking on South of the River podcast about and
Big up South of the River.
Yeah, big up. And one of the guys was saying that their child's getting a pager. They're not getting no new getting a pager.
Back in the day.
Who said that?
Indigo
Okay.
Sadiq.
Yeah.
And he, like, I was thinking, maybe that's a bit too far, innit? But they don't need to be getting a brand new iPhone. Do you know what I mean? Just because they're. Can you imagine what it's doing to us? Imagine what it's doing to them. Them man are sponges, you know.
Honestly,
Sponges.
They got no hope, really.
But even
Brock
Apple,
family.
apparently Apple meant to, I don't know how true this is, but you know, you hear things in like the tech world, and I actually had to keep up to date with those sort of things. But in like 2021, 2022, I think 2022, they're bringing out the iBeeper, which is going to be like an Apple pager.
Oh, swear on.
So they're trying to tap into so many different things that and that's another thing.
People
As
will
much
buy
as
it.
I love Apple
buy it.
and I love the products and I love how, you know, but Apple very much interlink all their products. Like if you want to be able to use that, you got to have that with that. You know what I mean? All of these different things. And it's another element of trying to keep you within their realm of how they want to feed things to you. Because it's one thing talking about Instagram and Twitter and everything. Because the people that created them at the beginning of this Social Dilemma show, they actually say, like, what makes you think that people create apps for free and don't get anything in return for it? What makes you think you can press download on an app like Instagram, share your photos, do what you like, and it's just free? Like,
information.
It's information. So that's what they're gaining out of you.
But that's what I'm saying. It's programming, isn't it?
It's programming.
It's all programming, fam. Even TV. You know, that, like, I don't even want to get into like whole conspiracy thing, but it's all Channel 1, Channel 2, Channel 4. What channel are you tuning into? Okay, I'm going to watch that for a bit. You're stuck on it. You can't leave it. Do you know what I mean? Like, more time, I don't really like my phone all the time. What I use my phone for, I'll go on Twitter every now and then. Instagram is probably my kryptonite and that. But I use my phone to search for things a lot.
But that's the thing. It's these algorithms are not just in apps; they're in your phone as well. Do you know what I mean? So even if you say you don't even imagine if you said that
I use Google a lot, fam. I Google everything, fam. Everything.
Even with Google, you know what they were saying about basically if you type in something like a half a sentence and it will autofill, but it will autofill not with maybe what you might think because of the area that you're searching from. It will autofill what's like say the common most common thing in that area. Do you know what I mean? And it's like it's
It's true because you don't even look. Because sometimes when it finishes a sentence, it's like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
And then you feel like
It's just like whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's
fam,
not-
it's true. It's scary.
But they were
it's
saying-
in your phone, bro.
That's wild.
Yeah, they were saying even with Google, like everything you do on your phone is tracked.
Wow.
You can put yourself in private on Safari. and I think you're doing.
They got me.
Honestly,
no one knew.
They can see everything you're doing, and it is stored somewhere.
That's wild.
in a
Imagine your
database
FBI
about you.
guys looking through the camera and just
So you know, all these
nasty,
people
yeah.
that talk about, oh, you know, they can't find me, can't trace me, can't track me with these sort of things. They know everything you're doing. They just don't bring you up on it. Put it that way.
You lot are making me just want to grab a burner phone. Fam.
Bruv,
I like a SIM card.
Yeah,
I was thinking that's probably
this
why.
has been an education for me today, boy. I feel like one of the listeners. I've just been listening,
I
bro.
was just saying, like, that's why, like, back in the day when it was so easy, you know, like when you get someone that's old school and they love to chat. Sometimes because all that information, if I didn't know how to set up a speaker, I would speak to someone who knows how to set up a
they'll tell
speaker, and then we'll converse or
I
whatever.
think we come off the tail end of that though, bro.
Huh?
I think our generation comes off the tail end.
I agree.
Because we used to play like 40-40 home, run outs, knock down.
that's why we
remember what it was like
Used to
not having-
congregate,
yeah,
fam.
we
Play
used to
ball.
talk.
That's
Like,
why we're the last of that, fam.
you get me? Like,
Yeah.
man, like it wasn't even like when we were young, like everyone from the whole borough where we're from would link up and go and kick ball or whatever. Before you know, you got to a certain age and then gangs got introduced, and it's like, oh, you're from across the road, so I can't talk to you no more. You're from over that place, so you know, like you're my enemy. But,
Yeah.
you know, like I think we have a certain capacity to interact with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I said, we're coming off the tail end. But these youths now, like you said, like even with my little brother, you take away his phone, you can't really
Lost.
get, you know, a full conversation out of him unless he's chatting to his brethren and
Yeah.
they're talking to each other. But how are they talking to each other?
Yeah,
Through the
yeah.
phone,
Yeah.
FaceTime or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
I was even thinking about just, you know, in terms of like relationships and you know, like failed relationships and stuff like that. Like back in the day, I kind of felt like it was a man or let me say.
1, 2 slow jabs.
Yeah, one person meets one person and you get to know each other. You ain't got the influence or like, you know, Instagram.
there's too
you
much
see,
choice.
You see
I keep
all
trying to
this.
tell
All,
certain
you
man
see
them,
this
fam.
girl bending over backwards over there. That girl just
Yeah.
lying on like gyrating on the floor. Thing, do whatever.
You don't know where to look. You don't know where to look.
Yeah, and it's just like obviously nowadays, if you got your woman and whatever, or you got your man, like, you know, there's all these other people that, again, as you said, that we're not meant to be interacting with, but because the internet's brought the whole world together, we're all in one space, and that's why you get a lot of you know, like either failed relationships, failed marriages, failed friendships. Do you know what I mean? Like that's why you get all of that, because some people think, oh, there's something better out there.
Yeah.
Back in the day, who you settled or who you're chatting to is who you're gonna settle down with. Cool, you work out things because you know at the end of the day you're gonna stick with them. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what's funny? My mum said something to me the other week, and she was like, yeah, back in the day, like you used to meet someone and start talking to them, and you just almost assumed that you two were together because you kind of just like we're both sort of doing this. You know, nowadays it came off the back end of a conversation I was having with her about events and like clubbing events and things like that. So, you know, you can go on Instagram and Snapchat now and look at an event and see how good it is before you get to the club sometimes. So if I know a certain person is going and they're getting there before me, an hour before me,
Just click
I'll
on
look at
their
their story
story. No
to see,
word.
is it packed yet? Blah, blah. But back then, you had to go. Like if you were there, you were there. If you weren't, you heard about it.
Legal rage. You have to
So-
queue up by the phone box.
Yeah.
And wait to make your phone call. Where's the address and blah blah blah.
Listen,
I'm
it's-
going to this underground rave.
Yeah, and it's true what Sean was saying about, you know, you've got so much choice nowadays, so much this and that. People are just so, you know, the internet has brought some beautiful, amazing things, you know, and has connected some people, and they've had beautiful relationships and all the rest of it, and it's given us a lot of information as well. But equally, there's a dark place.
The internet's fried everyone's brains. You know, back in the day, girls used to love getting moved to. You know, for example, you see a nice, good-looking girl over the street. You know, you got your brethren telling you, run that, fam. That's you, bro. You run over to the girl. She's looking good. Do you get what I'm saying? Kill it. And then you go over there and you
Josh's
drop,
words.
You know what I'm
Shout
saying?
out Josh.
You drop 1, 2 lyrics, and she's like, yeah. And then it's an art to get the number. It was an art. Not everybody had that source, bro. Do you know? No, let's be real.
No, facts.
But nowadays,
It's a
like
DM thing.
girls don't even like when you approach them now because they call you thirsty, and then it's like you're hiding behind the screen. So it's like what you see on the screen, when you go to meet them in real life, it's beat. Do you know what? Yeah, I spoke to my brethren the other day. I went, shout out Frank. Frank's a good friend of mine. Yeah, I went to go get a meal with him the other day because it's been a little while since we met up with each other. And we was walking through Streatham Hill, and I was going down to Brixton, and I remember walking past Streatham Hill Station. I said to him, "Do you know what, bro? I remember one time I spoke to this girl over the internet. I can't remember if it was MSN or just BlackBerry Messenger, and was going back and forth, and she sent me a few pictures, and I said, yeah, this one." She's nice, but Chris. It's these times I had my little course and them things there, and I drove there now, and I was waiting. I was walking up to come back up to Streatham Hill Station. I saw a girl standing there. I was looking at my phone. I saw the girl, and I said to you, bro, if I didn't have the type of heart that I had and the conscience that I had, I would have walked straight past her, fam. Straight. But I was pissed because she was not what she looked like on the picture. So I had to spend the day with her now. And do you know what's worse? We went to the park. Fam, we went to the park, yeah. And who did I see? One of my aunties, fam. And this auntie, she's not one of those aunties that's discreet, bro. Yeah, she's very loud and very purposeful. And she looked at me, and I looked at her with the eyes like, please, like, allow me. It's not my girl. It's a friend, innit? Like, please. And she allowed me still, but she spoke to me after. She's like, who's that though? Because that can't run. And I was like, auntie, please, like, do you know what I mean? But imagine moving to someone in real life because you see what you like. You've got the confidence to talk to them, and you get the number that way. It's going to be much more nice and much more organic rather than through the screen. You know, you got this swipe. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like her. Oh, I like her. Let me flick that one to let me super like. Do you know what I mean? It's like
it's
fam,
true. And
people are not animals, fam.
Yeah, and it's the angles that people are doing
fam,
nowadays.
it's a catalogue as well.
They were talking about just quickly. I mentioned that they were talking about these behavior therapy, not therapy things, but the psychology behind it is that. You know, you get 100 likes on something, in your brain you think, what's the next post I can do to get 150? How do I get 150 likes? How do I get 200? Okay. And that, and what's stemming off of that is a lot of these women are obviously altering their bodies and things like that, altering their pictures, and then like going back to what you said, you know, altering certain pictures or capturing certain angles, getting the best angle, and that's just not.
And
not
it's giving certain people. It's giving certain people a type of confidence that they might not have had in real life. Do you understand? Like realistically, somebody shouldn't be able to say through just a picture, she's batters, man, or he's batters, man. When do you get what I'm saying? Trying to be politically correct. Do you get what I'm saying? But like, if you are a certain way, you can't be going and being judgmental to a high to like such a high level to someone else. It's not fair.
I heard that. Yeah, so guys, obviously I've no doubt that you heard the truth, every truth spoken by everyone in
the Ital food.
Yes, you know what I mean? So I know the truth is gonna burn your head top in it. So you know what? All you have to think about is that the situation that we're in right now can only be helped by the way we raise our future. And if you know that, you know, your phone has having, or not even just a phone, but effects, just, you know, these all the tech around you is having, as you said, an adverse effect on you. When you're going to have children, people that, you know, that are dependent on you, whether it be siblings or cousins or as I said before, your children, just, you know, think about how they're interacting with the world and how they're interacting on their phones, and, you know, just how you can limit their screen time, all those type of things, you know, because when you do it for them, they do it for their next generation and the generation after that, and then hopefully we can come out of this vicious cycle.
That's my sensei.
Sensei Sean. You have to always just make sure, like Sean was saying, just make sure you're challenging yourself, because if you challenge yourself, you know, we can do better as people, and we carry on moving forward.
100%. But you've come to the end of yet another episode.
With your favourite bunch.
Yes,
favourite bunch of grapes.
Bunch of grapes. We hope that you enjoyed. Keep listening. listen, give us some, like, let's talk. Slide in the DMs.
Yeah,
let's
slide in
talk.
them.
Like we
Some
said,
of us, like, you know, we just love to talk, and obviously we talk about to each other, but sometimes we want fresh ideas.
Yeah,
you know,
man. If
just
you want to
I
come
know
on the
what?
pod as
chat
well,
to us, man.
Yeah, if you want
Just
to, if you think
DM.
you got something good to say on the pod, then you want to come on.
If you got
something
you know,
good. If you want to
topic,
challenge
yeah.
us,
If you want to challenge us about something, if you got a good opinion, you know,
If you got a
it's all
topic you want
welcome.
to talk about, bring it to us. You know what I'm saying, like Sean was saying, like we're a very, very welcoming and a very open and friendly a bunch of friends. So
100.
we accept anybody, man. We're open to anything.
Yeah, man.
Whoa.
Whoa, let's draw a line somewhere.
You know what I mean. Bye, guys. But yeah, man, but we're a bunch of good guys. So don't be, you know, afraid to jump in the DMs and hit us with ideas and hit us with what you think, you know, we could have done better here, or what you would like to hear, or, you know what I'm saying, just come and
Speak to us.
man. We're people at the end of the day, man.
Exactly.
We accept and we like to bring in. So
But yeah,
by all means.
So you've been here tonight with S9, Sean.
At Aaron.
See you on Shapes.
Chargy D, aka DCB, aka Dalamadan.
AKA Angle Man Dan. Virgin Man Dan.
I hear that.
Yes, I hear
We
that.
out. We out.
So yeah, just hold on. So actually, I'll do it.
Clap.
I'll make you something. Am I moving mad?
Yeah. You trying to run it now?
No.